Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it.
Hello.
That song is stuck in my head. I was talking about McDonald's earlier, so I'm just like, what in the world? Now that song just got stuck in my head, and now, jeez Louise, what in the world is wrong with me? Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sabby and Jaybe show on Revolutionary Blackout Network. I am James Fauntleroy here with my sister from another mister, Sabby Sab, Sabrina Salvati, the principal, the dean of discipline herself.
What's going on, JB?
You know, I had to put it in there. So, this is to let you guys know we're live every single Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also catch Sabby Sabs on Fridays at 6 p.m. on RBN and on her channel a little bit later at 8 p.m. tonight and on Friday night. Also, by the way, you can catch me on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here on RBN. I have a show called The JB Show. And then you can catch me on my channel on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Now, thank you to all the patrons on Patreon. For without you guys, we would not be able to do this, as well as all the members. Yes, we have memberships at $3.99. Thank you so much to all the members for tuning in as well. And thank you to all the people who contribute as well to our graphics designer, Aaron. And if you guys would like to help out with that, you guys can go Venmo at Revolutionary Blackout or Cash App $ Mutual Aid Forever, because Aaron helps out with our graphics. In fact, she is so good that I had to revise the graphic that I needed for today multiple times because I kept getting it wrong. And thank you, Aaron. Thank you so much. This is how good she is. Look at that graphic.
Dun, dun, dun.
Thank you so very much. And this is what we're going to be talking about today. So this is going to be very interesting. We got two topics. We got free speech warning. We're going to be talking about the Restrict Act a little bit later. Ron Placone will be joining us a little bit later for that. So we're excited. And also our first story is going to be about Angel Reese versus Dr. Jill Biden. Ooh, it's going to be hot in here.
Yes. Oh, Joe Biden is feeling the heat.
Ooh, yeah, it's getting hot in here. So take off all your clothes. I am getting so hot. I'm gonna take my clothes off.
Let it hang all out. Hey, don't start with that song. That's my song.
Dear God. We're just amazing together. We need to get a blood test because I honestly think that we are blood related.
That is my song. As soon as I hear that, do, oh,
Get a little and sprinkle a little. Let's say hello to everybody, shall we, Sabs?
Let's do it.
All right, we have Joe OWS saying censorship is fascism. Yes, thank you. Miguel coming in with peace, or I like to say Pikachu. We have Wadi coming in saying, hey, everybody. All right, good to see you. Sean Miller's coming in with a yer in solidarity fist. Yepx coming in saying, hey, guys, have you reached out to Rome about his land problem? I just found out about it like 45 minutes ago. So there's a lot of people that are giving him some decent advice to, to talk to the city about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just found out about it. But thanks for letting us know, Yepex. Ooh, Soul Construct saying hi, giving a shout out to Wardy. All right, good to see you. We have Casey coming in with the solidarity fists and the fire. All right. Who else? We have Negro.
I know. I always laugh when I see that name. Negro, what if you comment or you send a super chat on a YouTube channel where the host is white? Like, what are they? We've got a super chat here from Negro. Oh no! Oh dear! I'm just curious if you've ever done that.
Oh my goodness. All right. Oh my goodness. DMS Sinister. Sabby and Jaybe in the house. Yes. All right. We also have Bryce coming in saying, hello, JB and Sabby. Sup, everyone? All right. Ilhanar says, hi, Miguel. Ilhanar, good to see you. All right. We have Sean Miller coming in saying, Pusha T and Pharrell created that. And McDeese. Wait, what?
Yeah, Pusha T, that's his McDonald's song. He also came out, I think it was a couple of months ago, where he complained that he never received the royalties for that song. Look it up. Like this was not too long ago. He complained that McDonald's made a lot of money off of his song and he still hasn't received the royalties from it.
Learn something new every day. Okay. Thanks, Virtuoso, for the for the chat. It says, I am so sick of McDonald's, but they're there when I get the munchies. Oh man. Look, I'm sorry, but that apple pie slaps.
I like their apple pie. Some people have said that it tastes like cardboard. I don't know. Maybe I like the cardboard taste, but I like their apple pie. And when the machine is working, I do like their soft serve ice cream.
When the machine is working.
It only happens like when I really, really like am craving it and I go there and they're like, our machine is, I'm like, come on now. How is the machine always down? How is the ice cream machine always broken? I don't believe it. I don't believe it, JB.
No, they're lying. Like the kids say, that's cap.
And I rarely I rarely go to McDonald's, but when I go, it's usually for something like that. Like if I want to get like an ice cream cone. But
you know what else I hate? I hate that I like their bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits. I hate that. I hate that I like it.
I'm not really fond of that. But even their fries aren't as good as they used to be. McDonald's fries used to be really good, but I've gotten fries from there. It was actually not too long ago, and I was like, these fries do not taste the same like they used to. But I've also gone there one time and they said they didn't have any fries. And I was like, come on now. I'm like, what? I'm like, you don't have any fries, you might as well close.
Yeah, like we don't really give a shit about the food. About the burgers and stuff. It's the fries, baby. That's what it is. It's the fries and the ice cream.
Basically.
Yeah. Oh man, I miss those Oreo McFlurries. God, those things are so good. Oh, okay. Hey, Anthony, good to see you. Gamer for life. And then, all right, Virtuoso.
Oh, Negro said that they did do that. I did that for due dissidence.
Oh. Oh no! Oh no!
Could you imagine? Could you see Keaton right now probably being like, thank you for the super chat. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say that.
He probably just said K grow. Being black can be fun. All right, everybody. So we're going to get into our first story of the evening. This is going to be an interesting one. Oh, man. So the first story. Oh, what happened? Oh, no. Wait, what?
That's exactly what happened.
No,
man.
No, say it ain't so, Rick. Oh, man. See, now I got to go back and watch their channel and see what happened. Dear Lord. Poor Keaton. Keaton, no. Okay. All right. So we are going to be talking about our first story: Angel Reese versus Dr. Joe Biden. What in the world happened, y'all? Lord and Lord. All right. So are we going to talk about it, or are we going to show the video first? Which one do you want to do? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry. Silly times today. Thank you for the super chat, Tiberius. Whoop, 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 whoop. RBN put them revolutionary hands up for the wonderful Sabby and Jaybe. Time to get hot and revolutionary up in her. Mm-hmm. That is her for people.
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in her. Up in her. Stop.
So I think let's start with the video.
Okay.
Then we can go into the story.
All right. Oh, I already got it up. JB, you're so proactive today. What in the world? Yeah, I'll just kind of give myself a pat on the back because I've been messing up all day. So.
Oh, JP.
I know. I know. All right. So let's get this going. Lordy Lord. This is all right.
If we were to lose, we would not be getting invited to the White House. And I remember she made a comment about both teams should be invited because it was sportsmanship. And I'm like, are you saying that because of what I did and what, like, that stuff like that? It bothers me because you are a woman at the end of the day. And you're supposed to be standing behind us before anything. So it's hard to see things like that and not to comment back on it. But if we were to lose, we would not be getting invited to the White House. And I remember she made a comment about both teams should be invited because it was sportsmanship. And I'm like, are you saying that because of what I did and what, like, that stuff like that? It bothers me because you are a woman at the end of the day. And you're supposed to be standing behind us before anything. So it's hard to see things like that and not to comment back on it. But if we were to get a lot of phone calls, and that's why she wants to come out and apologize. But at the same time,
the damage is
I don't accept I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't accept the apology because of you said what you said. Biden. Yeah. The wife, yeah.
You said what you said and you meant what you said.
I said what I said. And like, you can't go back on certain things that you say. I mean, you felt like they should have came because of sportsmanship, right? They can have that spot. Like, we'll go to the Obamas. We'll see. I'm gonna see Michelle. I'm gonna see Barack.
Hold on. So did you guys speak to the First Lady?
No, apparently she was supposed to come to our locker room before the game, but we said no.
Before the game?
Yeah, she was supposed to come to our locker room and go to Iowa's locker room. I don't know if she talked to them. I don't know if she did, but we said we didn't want to. We didn't want her coming to the locker room. I think Joe Biden had put somebody else to win a national championship. He didn't put us on his bracket to get out of Baton Rouge. So I was like, bet. At a cup.
That's all I got to say.
So many things to add there. So many things to add.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. So, Louisiana State University, LSU, was in a championship game against Iowa, if I'm correct.
Yep.
And so, the game before, one of their star players, a young white lady, was talking trash on the court, which it happens all the time in sports, right? And she was doing things like, can't see me, like on the court. It's the John Cena thing, right?
Right.
And look, I don't count that as anything bad or nefarious. It's just like, okay, fine. But then, and they won handedly, but at the championship, I think it was towards the end of the game.
Yes.
Angel Reese looked at her and said, can't see me and give me my championship ring. That's trash talk, right?
Yep.
And the crazy part is Angel Reese is getting flack for trash talk, whereas the young white lady, I think her name was Caitlin, I forgot her last name. But she is essentially, was saved from any type of vitriol whatsoever. and it's just completely unfair, you know. And it's like, wait a minute. Actually, let me show this really quick, because whenever the champions of a game, whether it be the NFL, the NBA, what have you, you know, they win. The winners always get to go to the White House. Well, not this case. Says she's not wrong either. You invite the champions to the White House. Biden tried to invite both LSU and Iowa. Should have been just LSU. We support Angel all the way on this. So they tried to invite the losers, even though they lost. Right?
Well, I want to show some of the backlash, like where it started. And I believe it started with Keith Olbermann. And I want to show this here. So Keith Olbermann, some of you may be familiar with him. He's a shit lib. Like, I'm just going to be real. Like he's a shit lib. He's ridiculous. So Keith Olbermann took to Twitter and he called Angel Reese an effing idiot after she did that hand gesture. And so what Keith Olbermann didn't realize is that Black Twitter was going to come for him. And they did. Because the thing is this, and I think I tweeted about this as well. I said, had it been a conservative who made that same comment that Keith Olbermann made, liberals would have lost their freaking mind. And so now you saw on display a liberal, quote unquote liberal, calling a Black woman an effing idiot. Now, he has issued an apology after people came for him. Because we have to remember some of the things that have happened in sports in reference to commentators. There was a conservative commentator at one point that called the women from a college basketball team, called them nappy-headed hoes. There was that, right? And
that was Don Ives.
Yeah. People lost it, and people were like, okay, that's it. You got to get rid of him. Like, he can't keep that job. And I think Keith Olbermann thought that he was going to be safe, so to speak, because of who he is. And people came after him. I'll see if I can. There it is. There's the tweet right there for people to see. What a effing idiot. Angel Reese to Caitlin Clark. And this is what people are referring to. This is a screenshot. But what she was doing was waving her hand, and she was pointing here for the ring. Right? So it's not like this hasn't been done before. Here it is. I'll show you guys. I'll play this here. Let me see if it'll. Twitter is like this sometimes with videos. I hate this. I don't know why they have this issue. Let me refresh. But the thing is that it was on full display for the world to see. See this? So this is what she did. And it was on full display for the world to see that here you go. You have liberals. They can do the same thing. Do the same thing. So people came for him, and he said, it doesn't matter the gender, the sport, the background. You're seconds away from the championship, and you do something like this, and it overshadows all the good. Mindless, classless, and what kind of coach does this team have? Look at the words that he used. Mindless, classless. Then he came back after people came for him and said, I apologize for being uninformed last night about the backstory on this. I don't follow hoops, college, pro, men or women. I had no idea about Clark. That's who you were referring to earlier, JB. Both were wrong. This is what I said in today's Countdown podcast. So Keith Olbermann, I'm sorry, but as someone, you're supposed to be, let me tell you about his background really quick.
Yeah, I mean, he is a sports guy, isn't he?
He's an American sports commentator.
So how in the world are you uninformed about hoops, college pro, men or women?
JB,
if you're a sports commentator.
JB, I was thinking the same thing.
I smell bullshit.
And what people have to understand is that this tweet was seen by 34.7 million people. So this is kind of what started it. And so the thing is that this is another blue check, like liberal. And Black Twitter came for him and shut him down because I'm sorry, but no, it's not okay. And I still stand by this. Like I said, if it had been a conservative sports commentator that said what he said, they would have been like, that's it. That's his job. And I've seen it happen before.
Yep.
But this speaks to another issue, JB, because this goes to show you what we've talked about often before, is that some of the same critiques that liberals give towards conservatives, liberals have that same mindset. They're just more covert about it. And every now and then they'll slip up and show their real self, which he did.
Yeah.
Because let's keep it real. Let's be real about this. If that would have happened, if a conservative would have called a Black woman an effing idiot, that would have been the end of that.
Yep. We need to keep that same energy, right?
That's right. I don't think he was expecting the backlash that he received. Now, on to this point about Jill Biden, her response was to invite both teams to the White House. So I want to be very clear as someone who's played sports before and someone who went to a sports school. No. No. I'm very competitive when it comes to sports, and that should not happen. I don't believe in participation trophies. I don't believe in that. I know there's like this new thing that's going on where they're telling these kids, especially the younger kids, well, let's give everybody a trophy. No, it's a game for a reason. And there's a winner and there's a loser. This idea that we need to cater to people's feelings so that they don't feel bad for losing, that's not how life works. In the real world, sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. You don't get a trophy just for showing up. So I never bought into that whole participation like trophy thing. All these years, these teams that have won have been given the opportunity to visit the White House. The teams that won, not the teams that lost. And if you look at the photos of the Iowa girls basketball team and the LSU basketball team, the Iowa girls basketball team is pretty much all white. And I'm going to keep it real. Jill Biden showed sympathy towards them because it was an almost all white team. That's why she was able to have that empathy for them when that hand gesture was done towards Caitlyn. Now, Caitlyn,
you got this, Sabs. You don't even need me for the show.
No, I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real.
No, you made a great point. You made a great point.
This is what this is really about. And we've said this before about Joe Biden, the Bidens. If it was the other way around and it happened to LSU, Jill Biden would have not felt that same type of empathy for those Black girls that she did for those white girls. That's just the reality of the situation. So this idea that the losing team gets invited to the White House, no, that is not how this works.
Well, I don't know. Is this any surprise? I mean, look who's married.
Well, it's like, call me tough, call me mean, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, that's not how sports works. And if you have a difficult problem losing, or there's this idea that you're going to win or you're going to lose, that's how sports works. If you can't handle losing, then maybe you shouldn't play sports. Now, to be fair, Caitlyn did come back and say that she didn't think that it was an issue. The hand gesture and stuff like that. But this is something we've seen time and time again, where people tend to have more empathy for white people than they do for black people. And it's not just this hand gesture during a sports game, it's in life, period. Studies have shown that people are more likely to feel sorry for white victims than they are for black victims. Look at the police brutality cases, right? Look at the sexual assault cases, right? So we've seen this over and over again. So Joe Biden also got some responses from Black Twitter.
Boy, I'm telling you. And that's my problem. It's like, look at who she married. You don't think she didn't realize that part about her husband? Two peas in a pod.
I feel sorry for these girls. This is about sportsmanship. No, it's a game. Someone wins and someone loses. That's how this works. And when you go out on that court or that field, you give it your all. You do the best that you can. But at the end of the day, someone's going to win and someone is going to lose. And we do not sit here and feel sorry for losers. We feel sorry for the people that are worth feeling sorry for outside of something like sports. So yes, you have that same type of empathy towards someone who, let's say, is a victim of police brutality. You bring that energy there, not for a basketball game. And I can tell you, as someone who went to a sports school, the athletes at these schools don't play. They don't play. So it's no, you show up or you go home. That's how this works. Come back better next year. Sorry for you.
I mean,
sorry.
Isn't real sportsmanship is recognizing that even if you lose, you respect the person who won and respect the accolades that they get for winning? Isn't that sportsmanship?
Yeah, and my coach, what did she do? My coach used to make us, at the end of the game, whether we won or lost, go shake hands with the other team. That's how that works. That's how it works. And so it's just, that's the sportsmanship piece. That at the end, you can still say, good job, you know? But no, you don't get to go visit the White House. Go visit the White House during your own time. Maybe you sign up for one of those White House tours that they have in DC. Go visit the White House on your own time. You don't get to go there in reference to this championship game because you lost. You stay at home.
I mean, if they want to, they can go see Kamala. And then Kamala goes, don't come. Don't come.
I love it. No, it's true. I mean, come on, JB. And so LSU, you know, at least Angel has said that, you know, she doesn't want to go. She don't want to go to the White House now. Honestly, I don't blame her. Now, I will say to something else that she said, you know, we'll go see the Obamas. You don't need to go see them either. They're not that much better. They're not that much better. Obama's not on your side either. Okay.
Yeah. Angel, if you're watching this, I got a couple articles we can share. Yeah. You might want to skip on them too.
Yes.
So, just saying. Let me show you this video. It's kind of, you know, some continuity because it's on TikTok. So let's go.
I think everyone should see this video. It's not about race. It's not about race. Hold on a second.
Just got done watching the women's basketball final for college hoops.
Did you now?
And there was a disrespectful act done by an LSU player to Caitlin Clark of Iowa.
Oh my, what is possible?
Angel Reese knows a ring is coming. Now, this is we do not want to teach this at all for young athletes.
Oh wait, we don't?
As Caitlin Clark, yes, may have been cocky and may have done things to the other team in previous occasions.
Previous occasions like 2 days ago.
After a win is done, that you go over to the opponent that dropped a massive amount of points on you and come at them and taunt them.
Oh.
Disrespectful and a classless act by LSU here.
Disrespectful and classless. But wait a second.
We love to see a good clapback, right? And no one does that better than Caitlin Clark. I mean, just a couple of days ago in her game against Louisville, she basically tell Haley Bailiff, you're down 15 points. Shut up. We're going to go talk to some of her teammates to see what are some of their best Caitlyn clapbacks or best motivations. Let's find out. The last game, she was like, you can't see me.
Oh.
Can you pause for a second?
That's an animal.
I just want to point something out. Notice how the gentleman also used the same word that Keith Olbermann used, which was classless.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yepers. Continue.
Everyone fired up when she gets an animal and she like go like this and come to the bench and she'd be like, let's go. That's pretty fun. She gets pretty fiery in our timeouts. You know, she might even clap back at us because she wants us to play with that same fire, you know, and sometimes we're pretty even keeled.
There's that word again.
She's like, let's go, come on. Right on the floor, whatever it may be. She always will just come to me like after a timeout, before like a tough stretch, we think, and she'll just like give me a little bit extra reassurance. Honestly, I think the last Elite game, I loved she did the John Cena thing. I think that was so cool.
So it's cool when Caitlyn does it, and she gets a whole segment on ESPN about it. But it's a problem when Angel does it, and she gets called disrespectful and unsportsmanlike. Yeah, but hold on, let me let Angel talk.
But when other people do it, y'all don't say nothing.
Oh no, baby girl, they say something. They say, "Good job, Caitlyn," and she fires up the team. But go ahead, I'm gonna let you finish.
Y'all don't say nothing. So this is for the girls that look like me, that's going to speak up on what they believe in.
That's right, baby.
It's unapologetically you. And that's what I did it for tonight. This was for the more, it was bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is going to go in a rage every time. And I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I've helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited. So I'm looking forward to celebrating it next season.
Boom. Baby, when I tell you I love Gen Z, I love Gen Z because they are not afraid. They are not afraid to speak the truth. They're not afraid to speak the truth in public. And they might be our only hope left to keep us from turning into this Christo-fascist hellscape that these old white people are trying to turn America into. But hold on, one more thing.
I might have to pause that because the music, you know, I don't want us to get copyright strike, but oh my gosh. Okay, now.
White people, you constantly and consistently move the goalposts to accommodate your mediocrity. Y'all were all about trash talking when Caitlyn and the majority white team of Iowa was on top. But as soon as black girls get out there and sun you and let you know for a fact you cannot see us in this sport, you get in your feelings. When y'all disabuse yourselves of the lie of white supremacy, we'll all be better for it. Trust me. When Caitlyn was on top, trash talk was fine and worthy of a highlighted segment on ESPN. When Angel was on top, trash talk is unsportsmanlike. Please fix yourselves because the hypocrisy is exhausting. At the end of the day, I wish you all would just say what you mean and mean what you say, because writing all these think pieces on sportsmanlike conduct and tying yourself in knots using circular logic to justify your hypocrisy is ridiculous. Just say you think Angel Reese is a uppity.
Yep, that's what it is. That's what it is. Because the reality is this. When the white girl did it, they said, yeah, she fires up the team. She's fiery. When the black girl does it, it's classless. It's disrespectful. You know, we see these comparisons often. Like we talk about hairstyles. We talked about this one time before on the show. When black girls wear their hair in braids or cornrows or whatever, people will respond with, that's unprofessional. Or it's ghetto. But when a white girl does it, appropriates black culture, she's on the front cover of the magazine. Hello, Kim Kardashian. Hello, Khloe Kardashian. They're on the front cover of the magazine and they're referred to as trendy. You see how they change the vocabulary depending on the color of your skin, but you're doing the same act?
Yeah.
That's why you have to decolonize your mind.
Yep. So I'm telling you, you know, and you know what? This also goes into a larger issue, and I was talking about this the other day. I also do think that those student athletes should also get paid. That's a whole nother conversation, but you know,
yeah, I think they've changed that. I think they've changed it to where they can take like sponsorships now, at least.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's good.
Last time I checked.
So let's go to the chat. Okay, let me go to Rockfin first. I'm gonna do Rockfin first, and then I'll go to the rest of the chat. So I want to make sure.
Rockfin.
Rockfin. Sounds like Batman. Rockfin.
I know who that is, Vicky. You're probably too young, but hello, Bo Derek. I know who that is only because she was in the movie Tommy Boy, and my parents had to explain to me who she was because I didn't even know who that. At the time, I didn't know who that was. My parents were like, "Bo Derek is in this movie," so yeah. But apparently, she wore braids and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go. Thanks to Anna Mears, says, much love, fams. Much love to you, Anna. Thank you so much. All right, Anna, thank you so much for the tip on Rockfin. She says, I was only 10 people behind Sabby in DC on October 8th and 100% sure Jayapal wasn't there. Just saying.
Yeah, they were not there.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the tip, Roger. Roger says, never forget Randall Pinkett, the first Black person to win The Apprentice, was the only winner Trump asked to share his win with the white girl, Rebecca. Becky, her name was Becky. Isn't that the stereotypical name we give to white girls? Let me stop. Sab, Olay said what you said on that panel regarding everyone speaking on Anna K. I'm a woman comment. Oh, Anna Kasparian. Like everyone coming to this pretty white girl's distress, yet sisters receive none.
That happens on the left too. We were just talking about this last week. Like I said, when we got censored at RBN, when Nick's videos were removed, ain't nobody come to Nick's defense or to promote RBN or anything like that. But when it happened to Jackson Hinkle, everybody was like, please help him. It was all over Twitter and all this stuff. But no, it's true. Like I said, again, people feel more empathy for white victims than they do for Black victims. That's just how it is.
Even in the medical field. Yeah, even in the medical field.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, this is I'm gonna give a short story, but I remember one time I almost died back in 2019 from septic shock. Yeah, I was in the ICU for a few days, and they had to put a central line and an arterial line in my crotch, and they did it with only local anesthetic, and I felt it, and I was screaming. And the doctor was white. And he said, I've never heard anybody scream like that in pain before. But then again, most of my patients are already out of it. I was fully awake and fully aware. I haven't been back to the hospital since. But yeah, when it comes to our pain, even in textbooks, they'll say, oh, well, Black people are have a higher pain tolerance. No, we don't. If you hear somebody say in the medical field, oh, Black people, they have a higher pain tolerance, say, no, they don't. That is a lie. Shut it down, because that is absolutely not true.
They were actually teaching that in med school. I don't know if they still do now, but I know at one point they were teaching that to residents in med school, that Black people don't feel as much pain because of our nerve endings or something like that. I kid you not.
It's thicker. Like, no, it's not. And here's the thing. I saw an excerpt, a cutout from a medical textbook from 2015. They were still teaching this.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in the UK. So, yeah, that's a whole lie. So whenever somebody says that, that is a lie. And if you're in the medical field, if you're a nurse or a doctor and you're watching this, our susceptibility and tolerance to pain is no different than somebody who's white. No different.
Yeah, and they used to, for women who are not aware, like they used to do medical experiments on Black women for gynecology with no anesthesia or anything like that. They practice on Black women. That's why you have, so when you go to the gynecologist, that's something for you to keep in mind, that there were women that were sacrificed, Black women that were sacrificed, so that you can get those annual checkups.
Yeah, actually, Dr. Joy DeGruy, she was the author of Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. She actually talked about how the father of modern gynecology, he did all his experiments on Black female slaves, enslaved women. And he did it without anesthesia.
Yep.
So just to let you guys know how gruesome our history is, that's one thing about it.
Should we go to the super chats or?
Yeah. What in the world, Steve? In and out. You can't beat their what?
What does that mean, Steve?
I don't know, and I don't even want to ask, but okay. Thanks for the super chat, Steve.
I don't know what
I don't know. James Starks, thank you so much for the super sticker. I'm just still thinking about it. Cool Blue, thank you so much. Didn't Joe Biden have a bad attitude against Kamala Harris for her husband following a 2020 Democratic primary presidential debate? I don't remember Joe Biden's remarks after, because wasn't that when Kamala Harris went after Joe Biden for the busing accusation?
I think so.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Huh.
All I remember from that was that little girl was me.
And they already had pre-made shirts for it, right?
Yep.
Thanks a lot, Kimberly Mims, for the super sticker. Thank you so very much. Oh my goodness. Okay. Desert Mansa says, crazy how racist our society was and continues to be. Yeah. Negro says you should sue them for malpractice. I probably could have, but yeah. Steve says as bad as the Nazis.
Oh, he's talking about In-N-Out Burger. In-N-Out is a burger place in Cali. Oh, what I saw was, I'm not going to tell you what I pictured. We don't have that on the East Coast, Steve.
I've had In-N-Out before, though.
You have?
Yeah, it's good.
It's
good. Yeah, it's good.
Is it better than Five Guys?
That's a good question. Uh-oh. Kind of close. It's a kind of close. I would say probably Five Guys might be slightly better, maybe.
Really?
Maybe. But In-N-Out Burger's pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. In fact, when I went to Cali, it was about 15 years ago. I went to a friend's wedding. As soon as I got off the plane, we went straight to an In-N-Out Burger.
Well, I guess if I'm ever out that way, I'll have to check it out, you know?
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. I'm not, you guys.
What happened?
Bill said, "Get your mind out of the gutter." LOL.
For once, it's not me. Yes.
It said, "Beat the meat." I don't know what. Oh boy, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So for once, it's not me. Thank God. So whenever I say 2 all beef patty special sauce, then you guys better not say a thing. Anyway.
So Bad Cookie said, "Whataburger is better." I haven't had that either. I don't think we have that here.
I've had Whataburger too. They're actually out of Texas.
Really? Is that better than In-N-Out?
No.
Oh.
They remind me of their burgers remind me of Burger King's Whoppers.
Oh. Bad Cookie says nothing beats their meats. They don't freeze their meats. Well, I don't think, does Five Guys freeze theirs, you think, JB?
I don't know, but I know, well, from what we're told, allegedly, Wendy's doesn't do it either.
That is true. They do say that.
So they say fresh, never frozen.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-hmm.
That is interesting.
Fizzy pop slippers. I love these names. Nurse practitioners are overworked. Yeah, that's true. Work practitioners work a lot. Yeah.
But I think what people can take away from this whole experience, one thing I will say that this incident, one positive thing about this incident with Angel Reese and with Caitlin is that it gave more attention to women's basketball, which I don't think gets a lot of attention. Like, let's just be real. Like, they are getting better about showing women's basketball games on TV, but not as much as they show the men's basketball games. That's kind of how it is. My alma mater, for people who don't know, University of South Carolina, we have won so many times. Like, the women's basketball team has won multiple times ever since they hired Dawn as the head coach. She completely turned that team around, and like, she's been making a name for women in women's basketball. But I will say this incident gave a lot of attention to women's basketball. I will say that.
Yeah. I remember a couple years ago, okay, my sister-in-law and I went with my nephew because she was like, because we have a soccer team here in Orlando called Orlando Pride, right? The Orlando Alliance is the males team. The females team is Orlando Pride. And so we went to a Pride game, and there was a lot of men there. I'm just going to say there was a lot of dudes. And one of the things that the guys were behind us, I asked them, and I said, "Do you guys typically go to women's soccer games too?" And they said, "Yeah, it's a lot better than men's." And I was like, "Well, how is it better than men's?" He said, "There's a lot more finesse. They really actually play the game." In their words, they were like, the women they just so good at it. And I was just like, really? There's not that much, assertiveness when it comes to like wanting to get into fights. It's just like they just go by the game. And so I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, I mean, we had a great time. Great game. We lost, but
I was told one of the reasons why some people don't watch like at least women's basketball is because they feel it's not as aggressive as watching, men's basketball. Like, the men, they usually dunk, and people find that exciting, like, especially if you ever watch those dunk contests. But for the women's, not so much. So it's interesting. But at the same time, this gesture that Angel did, people thought it was aggressive. And now it's like, do you want them to be aggressive or not? Like, when you go onto the court, this is for people who have never played that may not be aware. When you are watching those games on TV, you don't hear everything. When the NFL does those specials where they call it the mic'd up special, I love it because you actually hear what the players are saying to each other on the field and on the sidelines. And so I played basketball, and I can tell you that when you go onto that court, what you saw Angel do is nothing to some of the things that are said. Like people trash talk. That's the nature of the sport. Like people say, get out of my face or move. Or like, move, you're a punk, you can't do this, you can't do that, you know? But you guys, as the viewers, you don't hear that because we're not mic'd up. But if people heard what people were actually saying on the court, I think they'd understand that like what Angel did here that's nothing compared to what you hear on the court or on the field. That's part of the game. Like, yes, you trash talk. Michael Jordan used to trash talk a lot. I don't know if people remember that. Yes, Michael Jordan used to trash talk a lot. Like back then, him and Barkley and David Rodman, like, yes. That's part of it. Yeah, like Greg Bruce says, football players do it too. Yes. So if you ever get a chance, if you have ESPN, you ever get a chance to watch those mic'd up specials, you should check it out at least one time because it's really interesting. You hear what they're saying on the field.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay. Well, cool. Let me go to a couple. Let me go to Rock fan. I'm sorry. Let me go to the super chat. There's a couple super chats that came in. Now, YepX is trying to get me in trouble. You're trying to get me in trouble. YepX. Wait, is JB saying he was in and out with 5 guys? Sorry, not sorry. My mind is dirty. YepX, come on, man.
YepX. Oh dear.
Good Lord.
We can't keep it clean. We can't keep it clean.
Nope. Can't do it. YepX continues, says, unrelated question to everything. Does Aaron do meme requests? Are some ideas I have that I don't have the skills to make? I don't know. Aaron, if you're watching this, I'm not sure if you do meme requests, but you can always ask.
We could ask her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So I'll say, let me check on Rock fan just to make sure. Okay. I think we're good on the Rock.
And Ron is here.
Yep. So Ron, if you're ready, thumbs up, baby. There you go. There you go.
Hey. Good to see you. It's been a minute. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see both of you. Yeah. How's everything going?
We're good. We're talking about sports, and we're about to get on.
Whoa! All right. So I didn't get to catch anything before logging on. So get me up to speed. We're doing sports talk. What's going on? What did I miss?
Oh, so
my Penguins might not make the playoffs. So I'm a little bummed out. But
well, we were just talking about the. We were talking about the. Oh my God. For some reason, I'm forgetting phrases today. Don't do drugs, kids. But I was talking about I was talking about, I don't know why I can't think of words.
I mean, I'm at the edge of my seat, my friend.
Yeah, we were talking about the double standard, that was being done about, Angel Reese versus Caitlin
Clark.
Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was the LSU team versus the Iowa team. And really we were talking about the racial, the disparity and what Keith Olbermann said regarding Angel Reese. And yeah, so we were getting into that. And so, and also how Dr. Sorry, go ahead.
Even if, it's a ridiculous double standard that I could actually tell you. This is just a funny aside on that whole thing. Before we get into it. So for the longest time, because I don't follow wrestling. So for the longest time, I honestly thought when someone made that gesture, I thought that they were like telling their teammates that they couldn't see something. Like they were like gesturing that their vision was obstructed. So like when that story first hit, I'm just like, what's wrong? She was just telling her teammates she couldn't see. Like I didn't know. So then someone told me what it was. I think I asked the internet. I was like, so what does this mean? And then someone was like, it's a wrestling thing, man. And I'm like, oh, okay. I never freaking knew that. And and it also apparently when a white player does it, it's fine. But when a black player does it, that's offensive. That's the other. That's the other component in the world of Keith Olbermann and a bunch of other people.
Yeah. So basically, that was what we were talking about, and yeah, it was this double standard that's constantly being perpetuated. We're also expanding on the double standards that we see throughout our lives in every facet. So we were talking about that as well. So that was a conversation. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really cool that they said they're not going to the White House. Like I thought that was really cool, and I hope that's the start of a trend of more. I mean, I remember one time, this was when the Steelers won the Super Bowl. I think, did they win the Super Bowl, or were they just talking about potentially winning? But like a couple players were kind of hinting that they wouldn't go to the White House because they don't want to see George W. Bush. And immediately they had to like backtrack that. And there was this like PR press release apology that went out. But I would love to see that trend where like just more sports teams like just refuse to go to the White House. I know in their case it was because of the whole Jill Biden made that comment, which, I mean, let's be honest, like Jill Biden, if it wasn't, and maybe I'm like giving too much credit here in general, if it wasn't Jill Biden who had a racist history, like maybe I would have bought that story that, oh, it was just such a good game that they made that comment as an aside and they didn't mean it to be disparaging towards the victorious team. They just thought it was such a good game that, you know, they kind of said it. But it's like Jill Biden has a history of racism. So it's like I didn't buy her little like her little backpedaling thing for 1 second. I'd imagine you guys didn't either, but like I didn't buy that for 1 second. When she was like, no, it was just such a good game. I said that Iowa should be invited too because it was just such a good game. I was just overtaken in it. Like, sure you were. Yeah. Did Joe even know he was at a basketball game? Did we take a poll?
That's why I love Ron, baby.
I don't know. You guys probably talked about this already, but yeah.
Yeah. So one of the things that we're going to be talking about is this story is our primary story is about free speech warning. So we're going to be talking about the Restrict Act. And there's 2 marks on the thumbnail. You have human mark and Android mark. And you have the camera there because, you know, well, Big Brother is always watching. And so one of the things that we were talking about is the Restrict Act. A lot of people are talking a TikTok ban. And like we have been saying, it is not just a ban on TikTok. It is so much more. It's like, get that out of your heads, because saying it's a TikTok ban makes it innocuous in your mind. Like, oh, they banned TikTok, it's whatever. No, this is something way greater regarding your free speech that is going on right now. I have a confession. I read the entire bill today. I know. I'm still dusting off the sand off me because it was so dry. But yeah, so let me just show the bill, because a lot of people aren't really talking about the bill. This is Senate Bill 686. And here it says to authorize the Secretary of Commerce to review and prohibit certain transactions between persons in the United States and foreign adversaries and for other purposes.
That's amazing. Like, that's amazing that sentence is in there. Other purposes. And yeah, I mean, I'll let you get into it. But yeah, I mean, I've highlighted a few things here that I've been talking about. This is the Patriot Act Part 2.
On steroids.
Yeah, like it's nuts. Like, it is so broad and vague. Like, the bill might as well just be one sentence, and it might as well just say, if you do anything on a device that plugs into something, we'll throw you in jail maybe if we don't like it. Like it's absurd how, but yeah, like I'll let you dive in. Like, it's so broad, it's nuts.
It says, be it enacted by Senate of House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. Says this act may be cited as the restricting the emergency of security threats that risk information communications technology act, or the Restrict Act. Doesn't that sound very freedom loving to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of thought that too. I'm like, man, they're really just being on the nose with it. They're literally calling it the Restrict Act. You'd think they would have one of those like liberty loving no China app bill or something like that. But nope, they're just out in the open with it.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sabby. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say it's one of those things like mainstream media keeps referring to this as the TikTok ban, and then I know JB, both of us have already talked about it a little bit. But the scariest part, I think, is it's like giving the government like permission to spy on you in your home. Right? Anyone who has a router, and this issue with the VPN and criminalizing people who choose to use a VPN to try to access TikTok, but it goes beyond just TikTok. That's what people have to understand, and they're not telling people the full extent of this bill.
Yeah. And so this has been, this is crazy. It says Part A, under considerations, priority information and communications technology areas. In carrying out sections 3 and 4, the Secretary shall prioritize the evaluation of 1, information and communications technology products and services used by a party to a covered transaction in a sector designated as a critical infrastructure in Policy Directives 21, relating to infrastructure, security, and resilience. 2, software, hardware, any product or service integral to telecommunications products and services, including wireless local area networks, mobile networks, satellite payloads, satellite operations control, cable access points, wireline access points, core networking systems, long, short, backhaul networks, or edge computer platforms. And then it talks about software, hardware, or any product or service integral to data hosting or computing services that uses, processes, or retains, or is expected to use, process, or retain sensitive personal data with respect to greater than 1 million persons in the United States at any point during the year period preceding to the date which covered transaction referred to the Secretary for review or the Secretary initiatives review of the covered transaction, including internet hosting services, cloud-based or distributing computing and data storage, machine learning, predictive analytics, data science products and services, including those involving the provision of services to assist a party utilize, manage, or maintain open source software, managed services, and content delivery devices. This is basically saying that we own your ass online.
Yeah, well, and it applies to every single device you could imagine. Like, the list is so extensive, like it's comically absurd. Like I was talking about it earlier, and I'm like, look, I think the only thing you're okay with is I'm pretty sure if you have a pen and a piece of paper from Canada, they're not going to come after that. But like anything else, any device from anywhere that they deem not okay, like that's fair game. And here, like if you don't mind, I this is what I find to be one of the most chilling parts. This goes beyond like everything we covered so far is like about the devices and stuff like that. So it's like if you have a phone or a tablet or whatever else. Here is what they're gonna be like what they'll find objectionable. And basically, this thing gives the U.S. Secretary of Commerce the broad power to, here it goes, this is the bill, identify, deter, disrupt, prevent, prohibit, investigate, or otherwise mitigate, which basically means anything they want to do, any risk arising from any covered transaction by any person or with respect to any property that the Secretary determines to pose, quote, an undue or unacceptable risk in several different areas. These include federal elections, information and communications technology products and services, which is pretty much everything. That's like everything. Critical infrastructure or digital economy. Again, that can be applied to literally almost anything, as well as coercive or criminal activities by a foreign adversary that are designed to undermine democratic processes and institutions or steer policy and regulatory decisions in favor of a strategic objective of a foreign adversary to the detriment of the national security of the United States. So that last one, it starts almost specific, like, okay, criminal activities, that's at least kind of like well-defined, but then it goes into regulatory decisions in favor of the strategic objectives of a foreign adversary to the detriment of the national security of the United States. That's basically code for anything that disagrees with anything from the United States. Anything at all. Anything that like whatever the corporate narrative from the United States is on whatever topic, anything that's not that is fair game here. Like this bill, this says you might not enjoy TikTok or understand TikTok, and you might not sleep a wink differently if it's banned. You should still be full-throatedly against this thing. It goes light years beyond TikTok.
Yeah, definitely. And just to add, so this part of the bill says foreign adversary. The term foreign adversary, A, means any foreign government or regime determined by the Secretary pursuant to sections 3 and 5 to have engaged in long-term or serious instances of conduct significantly adverse to the national security of the United States or the security and safety of United States persons, and B, includes, unless removed by the Secretary pursuant to Section 6, the People's Republic of China, including Hong Kong Special Administrative Region and Macau Special Administrative Region, the Republic of Cuba, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the Russian Federation, and the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela under the regime of Nicolas Maduro Moros. So basically, and then on top of it, it's basically like, well, and basically any other country that we just don't like,
yeah,
then guess what? You know, like what if they go, well, South Africa is a part of BRICS, so you know what? We're going to ban any type of app that is managed or owned by anybody from South Africa. There goes Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter's literally owned by a South African.
Yeah, that's a good point.
True.
Yeah.
So, I mean, well, did you guys see Afeni's like post on Twitter about, she was trying to raise money to go do mutual aid in Cuba? And
and they took her down.
Yeah, because it was Cuba in the title.
Which, by the way, like educational trips and trips like hers in Cuba are totally fine. Like it's totally fine. It's totally allowed. It's totally permissible. I mean, really, you can go on vacation in Cuba if you want to. You just have to like go on like a tour where it's like, oh, I learned something. This was education or whatever. So yeah, I mean, it's not like she was doing anything remotely not in the bounds of the law, but they just the word Cuba. Has she gotten that sorted out?
Her account is gone. The post I saw today said that they took her account. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's frightening.
Yeah. So one of the things that I want to do is I'm going to go first to this video from TikTok, because there's videos on TikTok about TikTok. So about the Restrict Act. So I'm going to show you guys this. And this is about the author of the bill, Senator Mark Warner. And so I want you guys to know who is behind this as well. So let's go.
This is Senator Mark Warner, and he is ranked first in the Senate. First for what? He's the wealthiest senator in the United States. This is from 2018 when he was only worth $214 million. Most estimates now put him over $300 million today. He's also the senator who introduced Senate Bill 686 to ban TikTok. But you see, this ban just won't affect TikTok. It's also open to a ton of other technology. Networking, edge computing, cloud software, machine learning, mobile apps, AI software, even e-commerce services. You might wonder, how's he made so much money? Well, he was a venture capitalist. We can also see here on QuiverBot that he invests in a lot of things. Mark Warner holds millions of dollars in stocks of media, telecommunications, and technology companies. We're not privy to everything that he owns, but in the past couple of years, we've been able to see that he invests in cloud computing and mobile apps and software and solar, telecommunications, network devices, and e-commerce. Last year, Senator Mark Warner came out and said that he believes that Congress needs to stop day trading because there's clear conflicts. Yet this month, that same Senator Mark Warner introduced a bill that would undoubtedly give him financial benefit. I don't know why it's such a wild idea that lawmakers shouldn't be able to write laws that affect industries that they hold investments in. Politicians like Mark Warner are trying to trick us by feeding us propaganda, while they write legislation to make themselves richer. After watching this TikTok video, can you see why Mark Warner would want to ban TikTok? We currently have millions of Americans who are under deep financial stress right now, and yet at the same time, we have an ultra-wealthy senator who has increased his wealth by $100 million in the past couple of years, telling us that TikTok is the problem. This is Senator Mark Warner.
By the way, somebody asked a question in the chat. What party? Senator Mark Warner is a Democrat.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sabby,
sorry, I realized I was muted. I just want to add, actually, the wealthiest senator is Rick Scott. Mark Warner's second.
Oh,
just speaking to his video. Yeah, Rick Scott's first. Mark Warner is second, and Mitt Romney is third.
Okay, so yeah. Rick Scott is literally my senator.
Mm-hmm.
Don't brag.
By the way, I look, this is a little deviation from what we're talking about. But Rick Scott looks like Fire Marshal Bill.
He does.
You and I both, look, Ron, Sabs, you guys both know what I'm saying is true.
No, man, I agree.
Yeah. Let me say you something. Anyway, so let's get back to the topic. But yeah, so, you know, it's like people like Mark Warner. And the thing is, this whole thing is, look, this thing is bipartisan.
Oh, yeah.
And by bipartisan, I mean bipartisan. Let me show you guys the people who co-sponsored. It's towards the top. Actually, let me go to co-sponsors. Number 25 is 25.
I know Kristen Gillibrand is one of the co-sponsors.
Yep. It's John Thune, Tammy Baldwin, Deb Fisher, Joe Manchin, Jerry Moran, Michael Bennett. Remember him? He ran in 2020.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Dan Sullivan, Kristen Gillibrand, Susan Collins, Martin Henrick, Mitt Romney. So the two richest senators basically are behind it. Shelley Moore, Ben Ray Lujan, Tim Kaine, his dusty ass, Kevin Kramer, Richard Blumenthal, Chuck Grassley, John Hickenlooper. Remember him? He also ran in 2020.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like the typical cast of characters. I mean, like a lot of these people, usually when there's anything digital rights related, they're on the complete wrong side. Some of them occasionally get something right, but are really getting this one wrong. Yeah, this is quite a list here.
And it has bipartisan support. And people need to understand too that Meta this is what I said on my channel. I really believe Meta has something to do with this as well, because Meta donates a lot of money to the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, and they've been doing so for years. They have lobbyists in DC as well. So you have to know that TikTok is a serious competitor for Meta, and TikTok has passed Facebook. Facebook's actually not doing too well right now. They just announced they were laying off thousands of people because TikTok is very, very popular and a lot of people like it. So they haven't been able to keep up with that. That's why they started that new thing on Facebook now where you can upload reels. That's supposed to be a similar version of the TikTok videos, and YouTube too. That's why YouTube has these YouTube shorts that they've really been pushing on people as well. But they're all trying to compete with TikTok because it's really taken off so well. But you mentioned Michael Bennett. I remember him. He did run for office in 2020. That's the guy who sounds like Mr. Mackey from South Park.
Yes. Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Okay.
There were like so many cartoon characters.
Yeah.
He sounded like Mr. Mackey. John Delaney looks like one of the dudes from King of the Hill. You guys remember Delaney? He looks like the one dude on King of the Hill. But Sabby, I wanted to say to your point, the other thing, like bringing Meta into this, the other thing that places like Meta, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even another thing that they like about all this is by getting all the attention on TikTok. If something like this were to pass, that's going to take the attention off the true problem, like all the actual security concerns that exist on TikTok, which of course exist on every platform. The same concerns on TikTok or on Facebook or on Instagram. In fact, these hearings have revealed that Facebook and Instagram are actually worse. TikTok hasn't done some of the stuff that Facebook and Instagram openly do, i.e. sell our data to interested third parties. Mark Zuckerberg admits that he does that. TikTok hasn't done that. Now, I'm not saying they never will. They even say that they haven't said they never will, but they haven't as of yet, at least not on the scale that Facebook Meta has. So by like trying to hammer this home, they're getting away from the real issue, which the real issue is just stronger data privacy for citizens on social media, and a real data privacy bill that's across the board and applies to everything from TikTok to Twitter to Facebook to everything in between. You know, if something like this passes, they'll be like, well, we solved it. You're fine with, you're fine with our domestic surveillance, but as long as it's not some foreign entity, we're good. So.
There's another video that I want to share, and this actually goes a little bit more nuanced, a little bit more nitty gritty, and it really reflects upon what you were saying, Ron, because this is some serious stuff, and people really need to pay attention. So let's go.
The internet is about to fundamentally change forever, and it's terrifying. This is Bill S686, also known as the Restrict Bill. You'll probably know it as the TikTok ban bill, but it does so much more than just that. It actually does more than any bill I think we've ever seen. I encourage everyone to read it by going here and clicking the text tab, but here are the main takeaways. Foreign adversaries can change by definition, but a few are already listed. They are the People's Republic of China, including Hong Kong, Special Administration Region, the Republic of Cuba, the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, and of course, the Russian Federation and Venezuela under the regime of Nicolas Maduro Moros. I hope I pronounced that correctly, but these definitions can change at any time. The bill covers hardware technology like modems, routers, and home cameras, and virtual tech like VPNs, and basically bans them if they are manufactured by or used to contact and deal with foreign adversaries. Speaking of VPNs, using VPNs to bypass banned apps such as TikTok is made a criminal act under this bill, and the penalty, it's a minimum imprisonment of 20 years and a minimum fine of $250,000 or $1 million, depending if you knowingly did so to access banned content. The bill.
Let's just stop there for a second. 20 years? 20 years. Like, tell me that we don't live in a totalitarian government without telling me we don't live in a totalitarian government.
Just another way to feed the prison system.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. You want to say anything before I continue, Ron?
Continue.
Okay.
Bill gives the federal government the power to monitor any activity used by these suspected devices, virtual or otherwise. Essentially, they can monitor what you are doing at home 24/7 without even informing you. This includes things such as routers, video games, streaming apps, smart thermostats, Ring cameras, basically anything that uses the internet. Now, the real terrifying part of all of this, as if that all wasn't terrifying enough, is that the bill goes on to state that this will happen by the president appointing a secretary of communication. That secretary then forms a group on their own without any voter input whatsoever. This group can have meetings behind closed doors. They don't have to disclose anything. They can ban and deem anything inappropriate or a risk to security at any moment in time. And if they do, they can go through your instant messages, your emails, texts, basically anything that uses the internet, and they can censor it. So in summary, this bill can effectively ban anything the government deems inappropriate extremely quickly without warning. Ramifications of this range from breaking up mass communication methods to even watching the cameras in your home, aka spying on you. It really is that bad, and I am not speaking in hyperbole. Please contact your reps. I have a video on my TikTok ban playlist on how to find your representatives and tell them if they vote for this, you will support their opponents in their next primary. If I missed anything in this bill, please let me know in the comments. Share this information with anyone and everyone. I will be covering this bill and the TikTok ban throughout, so to stay informed.
So, yeah.
Yeah, this is the piece a lot of people are leaving out, I think.
Yeah. That's why this is dangerous. You guys want to comment on some things that stood out to you?
Yeah, well, the other thing it does that, this person, he didn't mention the name, but it definitely bleeds into this is there's these things we have called the Berman Amendments, which basically allows U.S. citizens the right to, information from a foreign entity, like our right to get news from a different country or whatever. This bill would essentially mess with that, and it would give the president, any given president, be it Biden or whoever else, it would give any given president just basically the right to censor anything from a foreign adversary, i.e. any country that isn't the United States, that they deem necessary. So I mean, yeah, this is a chilling piece of legislation, and it's coming at a time where there's just a lot of things happening. I mean, I feel like we're always in those times these days, but it's one of those things. I mean, my biggest worry this week was, oh man, are we going to see a situation where everybody is so hyper focused on the next fart that Trump blows that this thing's going to just get pushed by in the night or something while people are distracted? Because that's typically how these things happen. There's always some kind of event going on that people are really hyper focused on, whatever it may be. Some are more worthy of your attention than others, obviously, but then effed up legislation like this gets through, or there's some type of terrible tragedy they take advantage of, like what happened with the Patriot Act. So yeah, it's a little bit chilling.
I just want to reiterate here from RJ. He said, thank God this bill is coming from the Democratic Party. Otherwise, it would be fascist. I just want to reiterate this bill is bipartisan.
Yeah, it is. And let's be totally fair here. There is bipartisan support for this bill. There is also bipartisan opposition. There are Republicans and Democrats that are, at least in rhetoric, against this bill. I mean, actions speak louder than words. So, I won't be I won't be satisfied until they vote against it. But, I mean, several people across the political aisles or whatever, at least as far as our politicians are concerned, have spoken out against this thing. I mean, Jamal Bowman has, so has Rand Paul. Yep. So.
And I give Jamal Bowman credit for that.
I do too.
This is just ridiculous.
No, he when he spoke on this bill, he nailed it. He totally got it right. And AOC also spoke on this bill, and she got it right too. And Rand Paul spoke on this bill, and he actually had some very insightful things to say about this bill and why it's bad. So hey, take the allies where they are. You guys vote against it, I'm happy. We're not going to agree on everything, and there will be other times where we disagree. But hey, every vote against this thing, I'll freaking take it.
Yeah.
Well, Rand Paul always shows up at the most random.
Yeah, he gets so many things wrong, and then every now and again you're like, oh, okay, he got that one right.
Yeah.
All right.
Broken clocks, baby. Broken clocks.
Yeah.
So Ron, what's coming up for you, and where can they find you?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me address Steve's question because I want to I want to I don't want to leave people hanging on that. And first of all, Steve, thank you so much for contributing to my movie. And to answer your question, we're in pre-production. It's taken a while. Making movies is not a short process, and this is my first one. I've never made a movie before. I'm really learning as I go. It's not the easiest process in the world, but we are working on it, and I'm hoping to have it finished by hopefully the fall. My goal is the fall, so hopefully we're gonna get there. And look for your name in the credits, Steve. So thank you so much for that, and thanks for asking me about it. And I'm gonna have more updates soon as we get a little further along. But we're in production right now. Pre-production was a lot. Production is still a lot. Sometimes I feel like I just got off a roller coaster, but it's been awesome. And Zoya, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And thank you everyone for your support. It has not been an easy process. It has taken me a long time, but I am working on it. And now we actually do have another kind of hurdle, because Sony just announced that they're making a movie about the whole GameStop topic, which
oh my god, really?
I mean, I totally get, like, I'm not one of these people like, oh, they stole that idea from. I mean, dude, it's not like I'm the only person who saw that event and was like, there should be a movie about this. But I am a little surprised I wasn't contacted at all. Like they have a production as big as them. They have people whose job it is to like search the internet for similar movies. And my movie trailer has been around since 2021. There is a GoFundMe. I have talked about it on countless podcasts, and we've been working on this thing since 2021. So I don't know, like maybe their movie's not a comedy and mine is. So that's like, but I was surprised there wasn't at least like, hey man, just so you know, we're doing, something about this topic as well. I mean, there's already been some like documentaries and stuff. There'll be more, but yeah, we're kind of hoping that, we get ours out before Sony does. And I also, it's I have a fraction of 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 the resources that they do, but I was able to get my trailer out 2 years ahead of them. So I don't know. You could have called me, Sony. We could have worked on this together. But anyway, thank you. Thank you for giving me the platform for an update there, Steve. And thank you so much for supporting this project. And of course, with everyone for your patience and encouragement. It does mean the world and then some. And also, you can catch me on the road. I'll be in Los Angeles April 14th. I'll be in Los Angeles May 12th. April 22nd, you can buy tickets to a live stream. Graham Elwood and I are premiering our game show, Anything Can Happen. We're doing it live in LA, but you can buy tickets for the live stream. June 16th, Madison. June 17th, Minneapolis. June 23rd, Detroit, Michigan. June 28th, Bloomington, Indiana. June 29th, Chicago, Illinois. Chicago, Madison, and Minneapolis. Use the promo code Lucy at checkout for an early bird discount on tickets. And Edinburgh, I'm going to be at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, August 16th through 27th. Information's on my website. And San Pedro, California, October 21st. Tickets and all information at ronplacone.com. All right. Sorry, that was kind of long, but I got all my tour dates for the year. And someone asked about the movie. So,
all right. Thank you so very much. And Sabby, what do you have coming up tonight?
Yeah, so Scott's going to be on tonight to talk about the New York Health Act event that's happening this Sunday. And then I also have news. We're going to cover this story that came out of Paris today, where the protesters stormed BlackRock. And we're going to cover this visit that Macron had with Xi Jinping in China, and 2 other stories. But I really got to go because I'm like a minute over.
Take care. Bye. All right, so I'm going to take care of these Rockfin chats and any super chats that are left for the rest of the stream. Sorry, guys, but yeah, things were going in a little long. But let me go to Rockfin here. All right. So thanks for the tip, Roger. Roger says, I'm going to do my best Will Smith impression. Sabby, keep my favorite white girl Kim name out your mouth. She ain't doing nothing to you. Why you got to bring her into this? Jokes, Sabby, jokes. Just playing, but don't cancel. You see, JB, that's how you effectively protect the white girl from the mean black girl. Oh, no. Kidding, Sab. Don't hit the cancel button on me. I don't want you having a Gator flashback on me. Oh, no. Lord. Roger says, also, Sabrina's mind is always in the gutter. You just have to pay close attention to what she says and how she says it. Very covert about it. Then turns around and be like, oh, did Sabby say that? I didn't mean to. We see you, Sab. Also, burgers with no black lines is not a burger. JB, I worked at Wendy's. They were fresh, never frozen. McDowell's coming to America was Wendy's restaurant. Oh, okay. I love coming to America. Roger says, don't forget Senator Warner is the senator from Virginia, home of Langley, where CIA HQ is located. Oh, okay. Yes, Tim Kaine, the other senator from Virginia. Ron, what up? I need to get in contact with you, man. Follow me. I want to try to see if I can get in touch with somebody from the California Public Banking Alliance to go on your show. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot for that, Roger. Appreciate it. Whoo, boy, it's hot in here. God, Florida's so hot. Ugh, it's disgustingly hot in here. Okay, so just checking on to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Let me see. Eric says, okay, the bill sucks. Obviously, when are we going to get real about fixing the root problem? Money and corruption. Got to make those demands, baby. Got to make those demands. All right. And Mastermind says, JB, if you really are a prince, I'll marry you. Gosh, I remember that lady. Oh my goodness. Just checking to make sure that I didn't miss any super chats. If I did, please let me know. Let me see. Roger says, question on the rock. I just got that. Ron, question on the rock. Yeah, I just got that. So, okay. I think I got everybody. Okay. All right. So be sure to catch Sabby in 25 minutes from now, okay, on her channel. And also, if you guys would like, you guys can go to my channel. I actually spoke today with Julia Doubleday. We talked about the cuts on SNAP benefits as well as the cuts to Medicaid. Then I talked about the hundreds of corporate employees from McDonald's being laid off today. So that was interesting how they just made it so that McDonald's employees, they told them just don't come into work and we'll let you know what's going to happen. And it's like, so y'all didn't want, no drama at the workplace, because if y'all would just fire people. Anywho, and then I also talked about Mumia Abu-Jamal, how his case for a new trial, his request for a new trial was denied. Talked about who Mumia Abu-Jamal is and why he is so important on my channel. So if you guys want to, you guys can do that. I'll also be doing, also have on later this week on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to have Jesse Jett from the Indie News Network on as well. So we're going to have a great conversation about that. So be sure to catch me also on the JB Show on Sunday at 1 p.m. Also, thank you so much to everybody. Please, if you guys would like to give for our graphics designer, Erin with the E, baby, Erin with the E. She does great work on our graphics. You can go to Venmo at Revolutionary Blackout or Cash App $ Mutual Aid Forever. Did you like the stream? If you did, thank you very much. If you didn't, why? Don't you like us? Also, thank you so much to the patrons on Patreon as well as the members. Yes, we do have memberships as well. So thank you so very much. Love you guys for watching. You guys have yourself a good one. Mwah, forehead kisses, because it's a JB show when it's just JB on. That's right. I love you. Bye. Sexual. Bye-bye. Cue. Cue the music.